Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoe program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece.
Absolutely. It's that kind of show today. Stay tuned. We got Adam Armbrecht from Locked On Nets, One Giant Podcast. We got Nets. We also got Dope and Nope, and can't forget my favorite, Ralph and Roofus, baby. Check us out.
The Fanatic.
Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Brooklyn.
I'm so broke. Hello, Brooklyn.
It's Brooklyn. It's Brooklyn in the house.
Brooklyn, keep on digging it.
Oh, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, we go
All net, like I'm starting for the Nets.
What up, everybody? Welcome back. Episode 3, The Fanatic. Appreciate you tuning in. You guys know what happened. We had All-Star Weekend, dunk contest, three-pointers, the game. Don't even get me started on the game. But the very next day of NBA business, my man, the Clapper, gone, out of here, finito, finished. A lot of reasons why. We can all point to roster construction. We can all point to his rotations or lack thereof, who gets minutes, who doesn't, a lack of adjustments in game. There were a lot of complaints about Jacque Vaughn this season, some warranted, some not his fault. But at the end of the day, we all know you can't fire players. You can trade them, but you can't fire them. They fired my man Jacque Vaughn. Boy, he's been with the Nets for a while. He's been with the Nets through Kenny Atkinson, been with the Nets through the bubble, been with the Nets through Steve Nash, been with the Nets after KD and Kyrie just imploded the whole team. And here we are today. So it's a little bittersweet for me. I think that Jacque Vaughn has been a positive influence in the locker room. He treated the players like men. He gave them the responsibility to be accountable for themselves. Are we in agreement with his X's and O's or his reliance on one Benjamin David Simmons, Ben 10? No, I know I'm not. But I do think that there were some positives from his tenure as Nets coach. But, hey, it's a business. This is where we at. So good luck to you wherever you go, wherever you land. You might land on another bench. You might take some time off. We're still paying you. You still got a check coming. So enjoy, brother. Nets hired Kevin Ollie. This is the one that everybody's been waiting for. We knew as soon as Kevin Ollie hit that bench as an assistant on Jacque Vaughn's team that this probably would happen. Nobody's shocked. Nobody's surprised. This man is a winner. Won in college. He's been a G League coach. He's somebody who played 13 seasons in the NBA, team to team to team, culture to culture to culture, figured out how to cut his teeth on an NBA court. I'm excited. I'm curious. I'm interested. I'm a little excited. I'm going to temper my excitement a little bit, but I think Kevin Ollie is a good hire. I think he's somebody that's going to get the team motivated, ready to play. Toronto was not a good look for that. Yeah, I mean, that's just the truth, but it's only his first game. This man had 2 practices since Jacque Vaughn got let go, and that's right after the All-Star break, so players are just flying in. I know Dennis Schroeder spent time in Canada, spent time in Germany, came back. A lot of players were on vacation, time with the family. Wasn't nobody on the All-Star team, obviously. So people were trying to mentally come back into the league, into the business. Let's see what happens against the Timberwolves tomorrow. That's the game that I'm looking for to see if Kevin Ollie really does make these adjustments and really can get the Nets into that play-in spot by the end of the season. All right, guys, as I promised, I got a special guest in the building today, and you already know him, Adam Armbrecht, the legend, Locked On Nets. We got Nets, One Giant Podcast. You guys see him every single corner of the internet, every single corner of podcast spheres. The man is in the building. What's up, man? How you doing today?
Excellent. Yeah, for better or worse, I am hard to miss when it comes, especially to the Brooklyn Nets. So, listen, happy to be on, man. Happy to be one of the early guests here on
Absolutely.
your new show, and excited to talk Brooklyn Nets
Nah,
basketball,
thank
man.
you so much for coming on. We are big fans of you. I don't know if you know how popular you are on the Nets verse, the Nets universe, the Nets sphere. Everybody talks about you. Everybody talks about Locked On Nets. I mean, it's a great platform for content, great platform for information, updates, stats, rumors, you name it. You guys do everything and you do it well. Appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, man. And Doug Norrie as well. Although I joked with you before we started, maybe I wouldn't even mention his name. We started obviously with We Got Nets and moved into Locked On Nets. We love doing it. We love being able to do 5 days a week talking about this team for better or
Oh,
worse.
yeah.
Sometimes we have a lot of fun. So we really just enjoy being able to engage with the Nets community. It's a great collection of people and get to connect with guys like yourself.
Oh, well, we appreciate it, man. Well, let's dive in. You already know, Adam. Jacque Vaughn got fired. We got Kevin Ollie as the interim coach. What are your thoughts, man? What's going on with the organization right now?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the firing of Jacque Vaughn was a little bit surprising on our end because of what this team is and where they are. You know, you can look at the first game under Kevin Ollie against the Toronto Raptors. It was strikingly similar to what Jacque Vaughn was doing, and it's just one game. But we have long stood on the idea that this roster is flawed, right? There's a lot of talented individual players. They don't all fit well together. They don't have superstars on this team. So you're going to be limited in expectations. They came into the year 37.5 over under was their win total. That's if you're 100% healthy. Ben Simmons doesn't play to start the year. Cameron Johnson has his injuries. You go through a rash of them. Day'Ron Sharpe even goes down. You know, a lot of players miss time here. And then to go through the deadline and make some margin moves, Spencer Dinwiddie, Royce O'Neal, and to come out the other side and basically get absolutely dumpstered by the Boston Celtics 50-point loss. I get maybe needing to symbolically make a change at head coach, but I don't know if it changes a lot over the final now 27 games for this team. They're a flawed roster. So, it does illustrate what has sometimes been missteps or overreactions from Shawn Marks in the front office. You wanted stability. You extended Jacque Vaughn maybe way sooner than you needed to. And now you find yourself paying another head coach that no longer is on the bench for you.
I'm glad you actually mentioned that. That's a big theme inside of the Nets community right now is feelings about the job performance of Shawn Marks. How has he done? Does he deserve to stay on? Is Joe Tsai and Shawn Marks still lock in step? What do you think that relationship is, and what do you think happens with Marks coming this offseason?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens down the stretch of this season. So if it goes completely off the rails, if they look like they did against Toronto and they continue to lose basketball games, then I think you have a different conversation this offseason. But the fact that you let go of Jacque Vaughn, the fact that Shawn Marks, in theory, is going to get to this offseason and be able to make some more decisions here, I think there's something around the pandemic and the superstar era and the issues that presented where Joe Tsai, while we talk about, well, this could be the fifth head coach for Jacque Vaughn if it's not going to be Kevin Ollie staying put. But there's like a year and a half gap year kind of situation where Joe Tsai, I think, looks at it as, yeah, we wanted to swing big. Maybe even he wanted to swing big more than Shawn Marks did. And when it didn't work out, Marks gets to come back and say, remember, I was building this team. I was making us kind of fun. Kenny Atkinson is the head coach, finding a surprise entry into the playoffs. If we can get back to that core again, I'll build us back up again. If you want to go for superstars, I'll do that again. It's not often that GMs get the longevity that Shawn Marks has had, but to this point, it doesn't seem like he's in any real risk of losing his job, although you're hearing at least some speculative rumbles. If this season continues to go really south here on the back end, if maybe they don't make the splashy move that some people speculate in the offseason, then maybe you see a transition here. And he is also, potentially able to move into an upper management role, a front office role, and slide an assistant GM into the main seat, who's right now getting talked about in a lot of circles as maybe being a candidate to move on to another position.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Well, to tie back to what you said about a splashy summer, we're hearing things that Donovan Mitchell may be a target. We're also hearing things, and I don't know how true this is, and so maybe you can shed some light, that Jacque Vaughn was not someone that players or superstar players to say wanted to come to Brooklyn to play for. Have you heard that?
I mean, listen, it's all relative to the product that you're seeing on the court. If the team was successful this season, then and Jacque Vaughn's the head coach, then it looks attractive.
Yeah.
Styles matter. You hear the way Kevin Ollie speaks when he was introduced. I wouldn't say that superstars would want to come play for a guy that says he wants hunters, and if you hunt, you play, and if you don't play. It's a good mentality, but we know superstar era basketball. Kenny Atkinson is not a coach that players want to play for, superstars want to. It's why he was let go and why Steve Nash was brought in. But that didn't work out for you because you have a figurehead as opposed to someone who's going to elevate the rest of this roster. So whether or not Donovan Mitchell wants to come here, fans have all kind of made this assumptive leap. Oh, well, in the offseason, you'll go get Donovan Mitchell. Well, he's under contract for one thing. The Cavs are a very good team right now for another. And
Playing
even
very well.
yeah, they're playing exactly. They're two
Playing
seed.
very
You know what I mean? Like if they end up in the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm not saying he may not still ultimately want to leave, but the Cleveland Cavaliers will play a role in how the roster looks going forward and making that an attractive spot for him to stay. Why is Donovan Mitchell, even in requesting a trade, looking across the landscape of the league? Maybe he loves the East Coast. Okay, great. He could look across the city and say, well, New York is where I want to go because they're on the rise. The Brooklyn Nets just lost to a 12 seed, 19 win team in the Toronto Raptors. Like, we even talked about this, I think, off the podcast, Doug and I. Look at the Raptors roster. I'd rather have that roster right now than the Brooklyn Nets, right? In spite of the record
ouch.
currently. There's like, it's just a reality, though. There's some
Yeah.
youth there. There's talent. I mean, Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett.
Barnes.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, there's a nice collection of players there, or at least a core that you see longevity in. So this idea that like the Brooklyn Nets will just go get the superstar, I'll take it a layer deeper. First of all, you don't know if that's guaranteed. Maybe it is. If you add Donovan Mitchell to this team right now, what does that make them? He's an excellent player. I'm taking nothing away from him. Mid-tier
Yeah.
Eastern Conference team, maybe.
Yeah.
Unless you're making another move off of that, which means taking all the draft capital you have and putting it together and sending it out the door to maybe become a team that could go to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know why you would necessarily make a move like that. It further illustrates some of the questionable decisions in the front office, which includes all the speculation at the trade deadline around the Houston Rockets and what they were willing to offer for Mikal Bridges, a decision that could haunt them if this team ends up in the lottery by the end of the year.
Agreed. I think that just the rumor of getting your own picks back and declining that with the season that we're having today, this could be a mark on, no pun intended, Shawn Marks' tenure with the Nets.
Of course.
A bigger question would be, as a Nets fan, as somebody from the New York tri-state area like yourself, what do you see happening with this organization in general? We haven't had, let's just say, successful seasons since the Jason Kidd, Vince Carter, Richard Jefferson, Kenya Martin era. I'm not personally going to call the KD Kyrie era a success just because we had one playoff victory in the first round and then a second round loss and swept.
It was an unmitigated disaster. I mean,
exactly.
and that's relative to everything that happened, but that's
Exactly.
a disaster to have those two players and then James Harden and win one playoff series.
Exactly.
Come on.
So what do you think is the future for this organization? Do you think we actually can right this ship? Do you think that Shawn Marks has to go and we have to start anew? There are rumors of a minority stake of the Nets being sold right now. So there's a lot of change. There's a lot of influx going on with the team. Where do you see this landing? Where do you see some stability happening?
Yeah, Prokhorov, when he was the owner of the team, Josiah became a minority stake and then slowly took it over as well. So you can maybe see the footsteps of Josiah saying, hey, this is an investment. I looked at these numbers the other day. It's like it went from something in the millions to the billions in terms of the valuation of the Nets franchise.
Huge.
So he's made a killing, right? Like he's made a massive killing and he can make another big killing here if he wants to. So maybe that is big sweeping changes. And then you think about Shawn Marks and new GMs and all that stuff. In the short term, we believe that if that was offered from Houston, then that was a massive mistake because you're never going to be able to get that control back. And you're never going to be in a better position to try to rebuild yourself than getting back control of your own picks, in addition to the Phoenix picks, in addition to the Dallas picks, and all the equity that you have, including a little bit from Philadelphia as well. Now, they can revisit that in the summer. Like they could always move Mikal Bridges this offseason, but you may lose that 2024 lottery pick that could have been on the table here. So, draft night trades and things like that. I think the weird part right now for them is, even beyond who's maybe running the show, which is a massive factor, But you have Cameron Johnson, who's underperformed and has not met any level of expectations.
Wow, understatement.
Oh, yeah. And listen, we thought the contract is kind of fine because there's a lot of incentives in it. So I think fans overreact to what he's being paid. There's a lot of incentives around playoffs and other things, and he's not going to hit those benchmarks. So the contract's going to continue to look better and better. But that being said, he did not get the bump from role player to elevated player. And injuries, which were actually a minor concern for him over the course of his career, have been another minor concern and factor for him over the course of this season as well. So that's been a problem for you. Mikal Bridges has been mostly the same player that he was a year ago. He's kind of played to his averages, but he's obviously not a superstar. He's obviously not a guy that can be the number one option. He's obviously not a good enough ball handler to be able to be on the ball, late in shot clock, creating space for himself. He's too slight a frame. He needs better guys ahead of him. Is Cam Thomas that guy? Well, maybe. This offseason, Nicholas Claxton, are you going to pay him? Well, maybe. And then you're still another year away from getting out from underneath the Ben Simmons contract. So I think the hard thing for fans to accept here is that sometimes what you're being sold on paper or being sold publicly is not what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Where the Nets are kind of in a rebuild. They want to sell a decent product. So they're holding on to some names and to some cachet here. But ultimately, it's going to be about the following offseason where big money is available and big decisions can get made.
I think that brings up a great question in terms of New York sports in general, right? Why is it so difficult for owners and teams to build a winning franchise in New York City? Why does it seem like it's the most difficult process in any sport outside of the Yankees?
Yeah, well, I mean, the Yankees, right? So their version of it was we can outspend anybody for a long time. So that's always easy when you have the most money. The New York Knicks, it's funny, you look at them, why are they having success now? Because they stopped doing the thing that plagued them for so many years. Well, wait until LeBron's ready to move. Well, maybe it's going to be Giannis. They kept selling this idea that when that superstar shakes free, we're going to go be really successful. We're going to go get him. But nobody wanted to come here. Then you start building through the draft. You make yourself attractive. You steal Jalen Brunson from the Dallas Mavericks in what is an all-time great contract right now. And then you take a guy, like an RJ Barrett, and you look at Toronto, right? And you facilitate moves for yourself. So getting, fundamentally, and this is the other thing that we've debated a lot with fan base and the media. Well, you have to go get superstars. You need to use these assets and trade them. Yes, but you also have to draft well. You have to build a roster that is either ready to play with a superstar, behind a superstar, or go and be used to get superstars. So you have to be doing the both. And, to look out across the full landscape here, talk about the Mets. Well, some teams are just historically bad. Like they just make bad choices, right? Like that's just, I have friends that are Mets fans as opposed to Yankees fans. And when you talk to them, it's like, well, of course they made the bad, like, of course they made the mistake. That's naturally, right?
Yeah.
New Jersey Devils, New Jersey Nets in that day, smaller market, and then even into football, like I'll put it across the board.
Giants this season.
I'm a Giants guy, as you know, right? I cover them, but even if you're a Jets fan, so the pressure of being in New York forces your hand. We're going to go get Aaron Rodgers and he's going to solve all the problems. Okay. Unless one thing goes wrong where he gets hurt. And now all of a sudden you've overinvested, maybe because of some perceptual pressure to strike in the right moment. And then it ends up kind of crippling you for another 2 and 3 years down the line. So I think sometimes it's perceived pressure that you need to be successful. Sometimes it's bravado a little bit and ego, depending on ownership and depending on who's in the front office that says we can go do this. But I think, especially teams like the Knicks, and I'm sure Nets fans hate this too. The fan base, they love to troll the Nets fan base. We come over, we take over Barclays. Wow. Right.
20 years of incompetence, and now they got a few seasons of success. They cannot help themselves right now. My goodness.
Right, and you get to do it. Listen, like you get to puff your chest when it's like that. But also, again, same thing. Like, Knicks fans, you're selling a bad bill of goods too. The Garden, the Mecca. Okay, is it? It's all relative to being a good team and playing competitive basketball. Nobody cares about Kevin Durant didn't want to go to New York Knicks. Why? Because they weren't cool. They had no cachet.
Said it was a bad brand. Exactly. Yeah.
So all these things are relative. I don't know if it is that it's very hard to win, to make championship teams and build winning culture in any sports in New York. I think that over the years across most sports, they've balanced out the competitive nature of things. And now it's about, especially in the NBA, well, it is far easier for teams to retain their superstars. It's far harder to see that type of player movement. So as you start to keep young stars on their teams longer, Well, it becomes harder to make the big threes. It becomes harder to go land superstars. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, man, that's by happenstance, really. Kyrie Irving forcing his way out of multiple teams and picking the Nets is what made that possible to go get Kevin Durant. That's a rare commodity. Usually, we offer you the most money because we have you under control. It's going to be really hard to pull a player away from another team. That Anthony Davis type of move going from the Pelicans, to the Lakers, I think that those are fewer and fewer here because the NBA wants teams to be more competitive and wants stars to be spread out, including the major markets as well.
I agree. I think one thing you said that stood out was that you have to draft well in New York City to become a successful franchise. And not a lot of people would argue against the fact that one of Shawn Marks' strengths is his ability to draft, his ability to scout talent. What would you say is one of Shawn Marks' biggest opportunities as a GM for the Nets?
Oh, well, it's again, now we're getting a little bit down the road here when it comes to these picks, but it is. I think that he has drafted well, right? You look at a guy like Nicholas Claxton. You can look at a guy like Clowney, who when they drafted him in this year's draft, we thought he's young, good upside. He has progressed far quickly than Doug or I anticipated. So maybe that works. Jalen Wilson's another example. I was disgusted by the fact that he didn't play until garbage time against the Raptors. That immediately turns me off to Kevin Ollie in his early tenure. But he hasn't had Shawn Marks' high draft capital. He hasn't had numerous picks to work with. They were used to go get stars in a lot of these instances. So I think that's his best opportunity to have success. And even beyond drafting, remember, Spencer Dinwiddie, Bruce Brown, the list is pretty long of players, Joe Harris, that he went and pulled from other places and maximize the value. D'Angelo Russell, right? All of these guys were, okay, you guys don't want them anymore. We can turn them into success. We can get the most out of them. The Timothy Mozgov trade, when he first came into the GM role, I'm taking bad assets and your bad money and I'm getting capital and other things and I'm facilitating moves that we want to go ahead and utilize. So again, Shawn Marks might not be the right guy for superstar basketball in Brooklyn, but you can make a case that he is the right guy for rebuilding and trying to structure an organization the right way. The question is whether or not Joe Tsai and collectively the vision of the Nets is we want to get back into the superstar waters. Shawn Marks may not be the guy for that.
Well, winning is his religion, right? That's what he says. Joe Tsai says he eats, breathes, sleeps winning, just not this season. So I guess we'll find out.
But you have to fast sometimes. You have to, you get a hard diet of winning, but also you got to slim down every once in a while. You go lean, you win, 25, 30 games, and then you get a little bit fat with some superstars.
Oh, this is true. This is true. Last question. Nets fans everywhere want to know, how can they feel better about their season?
Youth development, I think, is a big part of it. I just mentioned Jalen Wilson. He's 23 years old. They drafted him old in the second round. That means that he has a high floor, maybe a little bit lower ceiling. But good nose for the basketball. He's knocking down his threes. I think he hit like 67% over the last 3 games that he was playing significant minutes. That's not going to hold up, but that's a good sign. Getting Noah Clowney some run. Cam Thomas is obviously a playmaker, right? Is he a part of the long-term future? I don't know necessarily. Unfortunately for us, I would say that not maybe making bigger moves at the deadline does temper your expectations in the short term. The upside here is that you have some young talent that you like, and you have the ability to make any move that you want. You can trade some of these players and get a lot of draft capital. You can go and make a big splash if you want to with a superstar. And you can also take the holistic view. You're not the Detroit Pistons. You're not some of these franchises that are, just bad year over year with no end in sight. The Hornets, they always are trending in the wrong end of the waters. It's not great to be an average to slightly below average team. If you think that's bad, though, go be a franchise that on day one of an 82-game season says, hey, do you think we'll be a top 3 pick in the lottery? Right? Because that's where a lot of fan bases live. And that is about as the best sell that I can make right now. That's the best that I can do. Because
so
it's not
we got
great.
The youth and we're just not playing them, but we do have Derek Whitehead next season. There's some promise. So that's the promise, the youth movement. I appreciate it, Adam. Thank you so much for the time, man. Your insight is always on point. Do you want to stay with us for Dope or Nope? We actually have a segment where we go over some fan takes and see if the fans are good and accurate with their opinions or if they're just trash.
Yeah, let's roll it out. I love mixing into the fan waters. Everyone appreciates when I offer my perspective, especially when it's not quite in line with theirs. Let's do it.
I love it. I love it. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back for you. Hey, it's always a great conversation when Adam is in the building. Right now, it's time for Ralph and Roofus. But after that, we'll be back with some more Adam. Check it out.
You need to stop wasting your money on those scratch-offs, Ralph. You ain't win nothing since the Nets won the championship.
You won't be saying that when I do win. I'll be courtside at the game, and you be front row on this couch. Okay, sports fans, the Fanatic of Brooklyn Nets podcast is looking for the ultimate Nets fan. Call now for a chance to win a special prize. Get over here. Oh yeah, I'm about to win whatever they got. Biggest fan, they're practically calling my name.
Stop playing, Ralph. Give me the phone.
Congratulations, you're the lucky caller. What's your name and why are you the biggest Brooklyn Nets fan? Hey there, it's Ralph. I've been supporting the Brooklyn Nets since the days of black and white TV.
Stop playing, Ralph. Stop wasting their time. We both know I'm the biggest fan.
Yeah, like I was saying, I bleed black and white, just like the Nets colors.
Push me like that one more time, you really gonna find out who bleed black and white.
Oh yeah, and I got a room full of memorabilia. Authentic net memorabilia.
That man don't wanna hear about your room full of junk.
Fantastic. Well, sounds like we have some true Nets fans. I believe we may have a winner. What? Winner? You hear that, Roofus? Yeah, I won.
What do you mean you won? I pay the phone bill in here. If anything, I won. Don't let me tell them about your dirty little secret. You a Knickerbocker fan.
Whoa. You got me confused with Spike Lee. I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan. You see all this swag I got? Pure priceless gems.
Priceless, all right. Kevin Durant don't even play for the Brooklyn Nets no more. Talk about you the biggest fan. More like the fattest fan. I see all them hot dogs you be eating at the game.
First of all, watch your mouth. I don't eat no glizzies. I'm a pescatarian. Second of all, I may be the biggest fan, but you for sure gotta be the oldest fan with them wobbly knees you got.
Wobbly knees? These wobbly knees connected to...
Well, it looks like we've lost them. Let's find us a new winner. Hello? Where do I get my prize? Hello?
You gotta love Ralph and Roofus. They are hilarious. But right now, it is your favorite time of the show, and so is mine. Dope and Nope. But little twist on today. We got Adam Armbrecht with us to judge your takes and see if they are fire or if they are just straight trash. What we got for the first one? All right, Darielle at DR Darielle. Cam Johnson looking like a poor man Clay, and I mean this season Clay. Hard to see any potential in him. Ouch. Jeez. Adam, where we going with that one, man? How do you feel about that? Is that dope or is that a nope?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's dope that they included this year's Clay because it would have been insulting to Clay to call, Cam Johnson a poor man's Clay any other season of his career. But I mean, even at that though, I don't think, Cam Johnson has not shown himself to be an elite level defender. So yeah, this is dope. Guy can't hit shots. Guy can't defend.
I agree. I think that's a dope take right now. I'm pretty disappointed in Cam Johnson this season. I think we expected him to have a jump for this season, and that jump did not. That was a Jokic jump onto a curb. Like it was.
You can jump
not
backwards.
The jump.
You can always
that
jump
was
the wrong
definitely
way.
a jump.
That's also a way you could go.
I'm gonna go with a dope take on this. I think we agree. What we got next? Mark at Trademark 5. Nets World. Don't let the outside hate get you. This too shall pass. Just in a rough spot. We ain't new to this. That's dope. I think that is 1,000% correct. We are not new to this. We talked about that earlier in the show.
Yeah, you got to go long view sometimes, right? Like as a fan, you get stuck in the day-to-day, the game-to-game, the season-to-season, but ideally, take the long view. Yeah, I'll go dope on this. I'm shocked. I'm going double dope here.
What we got next? Rev at Rev BK. Oh, goodness. Losing by 50 to Boston, taking a week off, and then lose by 30 to Toronto. You can't make this ish up.
It was 28, so let's just, to be clear here. It was only a 28-point loss to Toronto. So
That's
I think,
painful. That is painful.
Yeah, but I guess it's still dope though. I mean, mostly because it's pretty factually based, right? You can't make this up.
You cannot
It's
make this up. Goodness, Rev. All right, try to get some positivity next time, man. What we got next? Cam Johnson is the biggest disappointment for me. Nets fans are really rough on Cam J this season. Yeah, that's the truth. Jamel at Big Mel, you're not lying, brother. That is the truth. That is a dope take.
Yeah, it might be dope.
Wait, actually, can I change that, Adam?
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I'm going to go nope. That is a nope for me. Cam Johnson is not the biggest disappointment for me this year. The biggest disappointment for me this year is one Benjamin David Simmons, baby.
Well, see, there you go. Because I was gonna say, like, yeah, like he's been bad, but Ben Simmons missing games early, right? Ben Simmons plays good basketball, throwing to other people, can't go at the rim, all that stuff. Like, listen, by the way, the biggest disappointment, why not Jacque Vaughn? He's not even the coach of the team anymore. Like that, there's a lot of things that could happen here to talk about it. So yeah, I'll go nope on this one just to break the trend.
I'm gonna go nope on this one too, but I also think Ben is disappointed for other reasons. Ben, I know you saw the news. Victor Wembanyama is the face of Louis Vuitton now. That's rough. I know you wanted to be that face. It didn't happen. Maybe next time, though. All right,
you don't get endorsement deals like that. You got to elevate your game if you want that kind of.
Exactly. What do we got next?
Oshkosh bagosh for Ben Simmons.
BL Ratcher at Bleacher Fan 19. Hopefully, the Nets are able to make a move for a point guard with handles who can get to the paint and dish. Missing piece, in my opinion. Adam, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm going nope just because it's not the only missing piece. Like, again, to say this is the one thing they need, this is like, go get Donovan Mitchell. Like, that's not the only thing that you need. I'll go nope because you have no less than 3 problems you need to correct for this team in order to get there. It's not a missing piece. It's the missing pieces for this team.
I'm going to go nope on that one as well. I think we need way more than a point guard right now, brother. It's looking rough. We need some
Stretch
size
big?
down low. Exactly. We need some size down low. We need a lot of things right now. A point guard is just one of many. But thanks for the take. What do we have next? Ash at Ashcash 17. We just going to have to rock it out the rest of the season. We've been through worse.
Yeah, that's dope. Keep it positive.
That's
yeah, man.
a fact.
Keep your head up.
You got that.
Plus,
one.
guess
That's
what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you want to or not. It's what you have to do.
This is
so you might as well get on board.
This is where we at. This is it. This is where we at as Nets fans right now. What do we got next, Lucian? Oh, wow. Joseph at Joseph Johnny. Yeah.
All right, listen.
This is going to be 1,000 words.
This is a note for me. Not even Nets related. It's not a dumpster fire. It's it's a small garbage can fire. But also because I'm going to make this reference is never going to land. Mm-hmm. But there's an old Seinfeld episode where Kramer finds the Merv Griffin set in a dumpster. So if you just light a dumpster on fire, there's a chance you're missing out on a real treasure. So there could have been a point guard in that dumpster for all you know.
All right, well, Adam is a nope. I'm definitely a dope. I do think this is a dumpster fire right now. Joseph, thank you so much. I needed that laugh. What do we got next, Lucian? Ben at Benny Simmons. I can't do everything.
Well, that's more like a resume.
That's
you're
right,
dope,
Ben.
Because when you're applying to be a superstar basketball player, you'd say, "What would if you were being honest, would you list some of your shortcomings?" You'd say, "Well, there are certain aspects of basketball that I'm not great at. Shooting,
this is true.
Free throws,
2 shots. 2 shots
by the way,
last night. 2 shots.
He's also not an elite defender right now, currently, which is supposed to be a hallmark for him too.
He's not an elite anything but an elite dresser. Ben at Benny Simmons, I'm going to say nope just for the fact that you are trying to impersonate a man who I am not happy with right now. So I'm just going to say nope for principle, but that is funny though. What do we got next? Al at Silky Smooth 1. CT went from ain't ish funny to ish funny just like that. Life with Vaughn versus after Vaughn. I did see the braids. I did see the rubber bands in him. He was all smiles at the presser. That is actually true. Cam was not happy or smiling under Vaughn, but now he is all smiles under Ollie. Wow, that is an interesting, wow. That picture says everything.
Listen, I didn't know that the Cam could smile, so I guess I'll go dope on the take, right? Very accurate. Dope on Nailed the take
it too. Nailed
but
it.
But go listen to his comments after the loss to Toronto, right? Not exactly flying so high after a 28-point loss to the Raptors.
This is true. What do we got next? Max at BKLYN Kid. Can't just take an L like that and expect to be kept around. Come on, son.
This is nope for me because if you're going to bring this kind of game, you got to have a better sign. You cannot go and cut off the top of your pizza box, use a Sharpie, and expect me to,
Hey, I'll tell you what, this is a dope for me because that is not a regular guy. That is Ed Lover, hip-hop legend with his, come on, son. I'm not mad at that. Jacque Vaughn, he had to get out of the building. I get it. I'm with you. That definitely is a dope take for me. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in today. Adam, tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh, man, it's at Locked On Nets, the podcast, at Adam Armbrecht. I'll give at Doug Norrie a shout out to over on Twitter. And if you extend yourself beyond that, We Got Nets. We're doing some great coverage, satellite content for Brooklyn Nets fans, and One Giant Podcast. If you're a Big Blue faithful, I'm covering those guys as well. Find us on all those platforms.
Hey, even though it's been a loss, we still got to find out who's helping us in these losses. Let's check out some stats. Leading us in points per game, Brooklyn Bridges, 21.7. Number 2, Killer Cam at 21.1. And then, of course, we got the other guys. Cam Johnson, 13.5 points per game. $108 million contract, 13.5 points per game. My man. Next up, we got assists. Benjamin. It's amazing that he still leads this team in assists. I don't know what that says. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Is he just that good that only playing a handful of games, he still leads this team in assists as a 6.3 assists per game player? I truly don't know, but no doubt. Ben, I just need to see you more, brother. Come on, man. This minutes restriction, you're not playing back-to-backs. My man, what is going on? Please, what is going on? Dennis the Menace, number 2 at 4.5. And then, of course, Dennis the second at 3.9 assists per game. And then, of course, rebounds. This is where Nicky Claxton is going to shine, 10.2 rebounds per game. Ben, 8.1 rebounds per game, and Dayron, who just got back healthy, 6.8 rebounds per game. I do expect that number to go up. So please give Ben some competition just to make that look even worse. I sound like a hater. Let me stop that. Hey, Ben, you're doing a great job. 8.1 rebounds per game. Keep that up, buddy. In terms of schedule, this is what we got going forward. I don't know. I made a prediction last week's show. I didn't think we'd lose to Toronto. I didn't think we'd lose to Toronto by 28. I don't know what to expect right there. I don't know what's going on with this team. Timberwolves, who knows? We might actually be competitive and win that game. Should we? No, but we might be competitive to win that game. Memphis, we should win that game. Magic, we should be competitive in that game. Atlanta, we're fighting them for the play-in. Boy, if I had to make a prediction, I'm going to say 2 for 2. Hopefully better, but 2 for 2. So we'll see. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, put some comments in there. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how you're feeling about the team. Let me know how you're feeling about the direction, where we're going, what you expect from the team. And we will see you next time. But don't forget, I got a nice little surprise coming for you at the end. Peace.
The goal is not to be successful and famous. That's not the goal. The goal is, if you have a specific God-given ability, is to live your life out through that. Right. 1. And 2, we have a responsibility to push the conversation forward until we're all equal. Until we're all equal in this place, because until everyone's free, no one's free, and that's just the fact.
What is going on, y'all? My name is Drew. I'm an artist/songwriter from New York, and I just wanted to holler at you guys and tell you to check out my new song, Forever, that I just dropped for Valentine's Day. It's a dope song, very vibey song. It's out right now on SoundCloud and YouTube, but you can find it on any digital streaming platform that you use in some of the next few weeks. Just follow me on Instagram at digitaldrew_. If you guys want to follow up on more of my music and more of my content, I appreciate you guys for seeing me through. I hope to see you guys join the support. And thank you to the Fanatic podcast for letting me do this. Shout out to them. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Could I write a song that make you feel warm? side. Could I write a song that make that smile shine so bright? Oh, this is how it speaks to me. Oh, this the feeling, and we got us some history. I'm glad I shared with you. Yeah. One story capturing all our lives. Want you feeling better than alright? It's the greatest feeling all my life. I would take the time just to watch you sleep for all night long. Play your favorite song when gone. Baby, it's your body, it's all I know. And baby, it's your body, it's all I want. I would watch you sleep for all night long. Play your favorite song when you ain't home. Baby, it's your body, it's all I know. And baby, it's your body, it's all I want. Yeah, I'ma try to keep it simple. Yeah, and when with you, it's always simple. That's the feeling I could feel when we out here in this world. You the one who helped me heal. When it's winter, keep me warm. When it's hot, you keep me cool. I could write 100 songs, still can't wrap my head around you. Even if it's separate places, still I'm keeping you involved. You've been keeping me in love. It's like we both been sharing hearts. I'll sweep you off your feet, create you something you ain't seen. Experience life in different ways. When I'm with you, feel that dream. I just love to hear you laugh. I just love to see you smile. Wouldn't wish for no one else. You the only one that felt me. Only one who held me, only one who cared for the bad things that I had seen. I was on a big fall down, and then you held me up. And I just wanna thank you for forever love. So watch you sleep for all night long. Play your favorite song when gone. Baby, it's your body, it's all I know. And baby, it's your body, it's all I want. I will watch you sleep for all night long. Play your favorite song when you ain't home. Baby, it's your body, it's all I know. And baby, it's your body, it's all I want. I can't describe how I love you. Yeah, I love your body and your mind. I love the times when you don't try, cause you still go out there and shine. Oh, and you still go out there and shine. I wouldn't want anybody in the world but you. Take the time just to watch you sleep for all night long. Play your favorite song when gone. Baby, it's your body, it's all I know. And baby, it's your body, it's all I want. I will watch you sleep for all night long. Play your favorite song when you ain't home. Baby, it's your body, it's all I know. And baby, it's your body, it's all I want.